So as we start talking about potential debates as well as Democratic and Republican national conventions, we're asking if you think the upcoming political events should all be virtual. Let us know at 12news.com/bullhorn. It's certainly trending that way after Joe Biden announced this week that he will be accepting the nomination virtually, not going to Milwaukee in this summer's Democratic National Convention. And then on the flip side, President Trump, he also suggested that he's not going to the RNC either, instead saying that he'll probably deliver the nomination acceptance speech from the White House. So there's a good chance that neither of the presumptive candidates will be in attendance at their respective conventions. Right now, both conventions are expected to be some type of mixture of in-person and virtual speeches, but do you think that any of that should happen in person? A lot of people weighing in on this one for us this morning. James on Facebook says, let's shred the Constitution over a microscopic virus. No, we assume risk every single day. Arizona Summer says, no, this is getting dumb.
This is getting dumb.
This is just getting dumb.
That sounds like my son when he can't go play with someone. This is getting dumb.
This is so dumb, Mom.
Yeah.
Mark Jazzo, all large gatherings should be banned until this crisis is over. And you could see Mark agrees with the majority of our viewers, 79% right now, saying that all political events should go virtual here moving forward ahead of November's. But you can continue to weigh in for us right now this morning. 12news.com/bullhorn. If you feel differently or you want to vote on the side that says yes right now, go ahead. Do as you please.